Hey everyone, how's it going? This is Adrian with another release for Avo. Today we're releasing 3.4 and we have quite a few things to talk about, so let's just dive in. So sidebar, remember scroll, move to controller. So at some point we added this cool little feature where we scroll the active item within like the viewport, and we had that code somewhere in the general JavaScript file. Now we moved it to a controller, so it's just a refactor, nothing to worry about. Tool manager tweaks. Yeah, this is actually a bug where we didn't display the right name for the tool if you just use the all tools helper, and now we do. So that's better. New toolpaths. So we figured out at some point that we were generating the new tool paths somewhere inside the your application's routes, and this worked in most of the cases, but it's actually a little bit better and fixes a few edge cases when we define them inside the Avo engine routes paths. So just like this, and now we do that, so that is just better. Reload button, I'm going to talk about this next. Let's see the maintenance ones. So we switched to Cooperite. We hope our tests are a little bit less flaky now, maybe a little bit faster. It's actually the best like future-proof solution for that. So updating dependencies, blah 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 blah. Turn off and remove old artifacts. Okay, so this is something. If you just fork this, we have this condition here, so nothing to see here. Update hero icons. So now we have access to all of the new version of the hero icons, the micro ones. So that's just better. What else? Update new dashboard colors. Okay, so new dashboard colors. We figured out that our colors, the default colors that which Avo shipped with, they weren't too contrasty, and now we added a few more based on the Google Charts colors, and now you just have a better understanding of what data is where. What else? So all dependency, cool. Okay, let's go to bug fixes. Actions download. Okay, so we went through a few iterations with actions, and this is another one. Yeah, so the binary files were not downloading properly, and now we have switched that in such a way that all of our responses from actions are actually turbo stream responses. Before we had it was a little bit of a combination between HTTP responses and turbo stream, and now they're just turbo stream, and we handle those very well. Return valid attributes for HTML options. Okay, this was a bug. What was this? Okay, yeah. So the HTML might have returned nil whenever you try to do some data, and now it just works. So if you never had this, you're not gonna be bothered by it. Scopes with pagination. Okay, when generating a link for a scope. Okay, this was a bug on our side with scopes and pagination. Now it's not. Controls default title. What is this? Okay, yeah, this was another bug. The title for the controls were not popping up properly. Now they are. Search highlight. This is a cool one. Now, whenever you highlight things, this is something that I think Yaro suggested. We highlight the whatever you searched within that result item. Searchable belongs to, okay, this is a bug for this one. Destroy when using forms and display fields. Let's check it out. Okay, yeah, so we had a bug. So display field, whenever you would use something like display fields and form fields, the detach or destroy button would not work properly because it couldn't find actually the detach button for the has and belongs to main. It couldn't find the proper field, but now it does. So that's a cool little edge case that was fixed. Double defined constants in CI. This is just a tiny, chore. Detach when using. Again, this is the same thing with this one. So again, just covering more edge cases with the new def fields API. Fetch cards only when necessary. Okay, so this was a big one. I think I announced something on the on our Discord channel. So we had a minor release with this one, yeah, 334. So the problem was that whenever you would load up a resource, if you had any dashboards, those dashboards would load up all the cards, but actually, run some kind of actions within the cards handle method. So now it will not. So it's basically a performance improvement. It's actually a bug fix because we forgot about that somewhere when we refactored something. So now Avo should work much smoother if you had any, heavy cards, heavy computing cards in your app. What else? Stop file field from hiding file name. Okay. Thank you, Ian, for this. Yep. The problem was that in some cases, or maybe in every cases, the label would be hidden, and now it's not. It was something that we forgot to move whenever we did a refactor. Fetch cards only when necessary. It's kind of the same thing with this one. Yes, it's the same thing, but on the different repo. Authorize menu items. I think, did we forget about this one? Yes, we delegated the wrong authorization service within the menu editor. So if you used Avo initializer, if you're trying to use something like authorize, what is that? Do we have it here? We don't have it. Yeah, you can do something like visible, and then you pass it a block, and you can say authorize, and then you pass in some params. Then it would authorize this item. So the user resource would be available only if the user policy, well, you don't have it, I don't have it here, only if the policy would allow that that user to see that resource. So it wasn't working back then, now it is. So that's just perfect. Attach when using, again, this is the same thing. Tricks field, disable attachments option. Okay, cool. Thank you, Olivier. So what happened was we added a actually we accepted a PR with a refactor. So basically it would be the tricks field would be a little bit more smart about if the attachments button would be visible or not. So if you don't have the attachments the attachment key on the tricks field, let me see if I can find one as tricks. Where is it? Okay, so if you didn't have the attachment key on the tricks field, it doesn't need to have to show that attachment icon on that on the editor because it cannot attach. So that was the refactor, but actually we introduced a bug where it would just say false, return false every time. So Olivier, thank you so much for digging into this and finding the bug, and of course thank you for submitting a PR because it's much better than just creating an issue and throwing it on us. So thank you so much for that. We appreciate it. Index destroy. Again, I think this was a regression. Of course, yes. So we broke the index destroy action in one PR. Okay, and now that is fixed. So, whew, cool. We're done. We're almost done. I mean, we finished bug fixes, refactor, and the chores. Let's just move on to the features and the cool new things we are bringing on. But before we do that, I just want to let you know that what I'm talking about today is actually the release notes from 3.30 to 3.40. We actually had a few releases in between. So 336, 335, 334, 3, 2, and 1, you get the point, where we released a few things publicly. So now I'm just talking about everything that happened in the past month. Cool. Features. Okay, bottom up, reload icon. This is a cool one. What happens is whenever, do we have any screenshots here? Oh, we don't. We should have it. Okay, cool. So whenever you have any, cool. So whenever we have any, I'll go into the team. I'm not sure if we have it here. Team members. Okay. Whenever you have has one or has many association on a record, you might just want to refresh the reviews. I don't know, that you maybe run some action or something happens, like the reviews maybe get added quickly, and you want to refresh just this section here and not hit refresh on the web page. We just added this icon, which will click and it will just refresh the page. It will spin. Let me see if I can show you. Network conditions, no throttling, fast 3G. It will spin to let you know that it is refreshing, and when it stopped, it means it refreshed that content. So this is a cool one. And as a bonus, this is something that Avo supported always, and it wasn't publicly. If you press the letter R 3 times, R from refresh, 1, 2, 3, it will just refresh the full page. It's like hitting this. It's actually better than this. It will just do a turbo refresh. So again, I'm selecting something, 1, 2, 3. Now it refreshed the page. So that's just a bonus action for you. Cool. Override auto-generated. Oh, sorry. There's just one more thing about reloadable. You have to opt in. So by default, it's false. So by default, it won't have this. It won't have the tiny arrow button there. And you just go on the field and has many, has one, hasn't belongs to many. Just say reloadable true. And when you do that, it will add this to your pane. What's next? So override auto-generated data attributes. Okay. So what happens is this is a fix and a feature. It's an edge case. So what happens is whenever you add a stimulus controller to a resource, so for the course resource, city and country, Avo automatically adds the data attributes, the target attributes on each field. So you basically will have resource edit target, yes, this, but let me find data. So you see city and country controller. So we have city and country, and then we have target name text input. So now this is automatically, you can target it from JavaScript from your stimulus controller. So this is something that Avo adds by default. But if you want on one of these to actually add target, and then you add your own something custom, this, so actually it's not target, it's actually city in country target. This is the same target that we add automatically. Now this would not show up in the DOM. It will not select this. Oh, I forgot something. This would not have shown up before, but now look. So city and country target, and you have something custom. Now we fix that, so you can override whatever we put in, because maybe you want to add multiple targets or something really custom. So that is what this PR is bringing. Again, a tiny edge case, but if you encounter that problem, now that's not a problem for you anymore. Expose resource in resource tools initializers. Okay, cool. This is more about like how to write proper Rails code, Rails Ruby code, whatever. So we have some custom tools. Let's see, fish information. I have a custom, maybe not this one. Let me see, maybe a different one. City editor needs, okay, perfect. So sidebar tool, maybe not this one. Okay, let's just take this one. What happens is you might want, or maybe fish information, whatever. You might want in the fish information tool, resource tool, somewhere around here, and this is the fish information. So it starts from here to here. You want to initialize something. You can, of course, go into the fish information HTML. So in the partial and, do things like, I don't know, something equals custom.new, and then you hit enter, return, and then you write some more, blah, 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 blah. And you write some logic, some, I don't know, if else, some, I don't know, case, whatever. You write your logic. And it's considered a best practice to add logic within ERB partials, right? And that's cool. And what was happening was that I said, okay, you just go to the ERB file and you open the initializer, and you do your work here. And we move everything from here, blah, 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 and move it here. Perfect. And now you have all your logic within the RB file, the Ruby file. But the problem was that you couldn't access the resource, the record. You couldn't access quite a few things. And what this PR does, it will give you quite a few things. It will give you access to the view, to the resource, to the parent. The parent is actually, what is it? I think, let's just see what the hell this is. The parent is PY parent. It's actually, I think, the resource. Oh yeah, it's an alias, I think. Yes, because we might want to attach resource tools to something else at some point. So I think, let me just refresh. Come on. What is it? Oh, I need to, okay, I didn't follow the documentation, of course. I need to call it like this. So it's properly initialized. Okay. Refresh. Okay, perfect. And the parent is actually the resource. And now we can do parent.record, and we have access to this precise record. So the trout. Let's check it out. Yes, parent.record is this one, the trout. Cool. So this is what this PR adds. Adds quite a few things available within the initializer, so you can initialize whatever you want there and make it more, write better Ruby. Cool. Make default attachments disable context aware. This is something that I talked about before. So that the part where we added that bug. So the tricks file does not need to show the attachments button if the attachments key is not there. So this is it. Customizable query. Okay, so this is another private API. This is something that you should use with intense care, and if it breaks at some point, it's on you. It's on you. It's not on us. It's on you. This is still private API, but because we need to do this properly. But again, you can use this, but it's on you. So a lot of you guys asked us about, hey, we would like to take to have more control of the dynamic filters, and we know that. We really hear you. So I'm going to go into projects, and you might know that the filters, the dynamic filters, these ones with the pills, they just work like, yeah, true or false. It's, do you want a filter for this or not, right? You cannot change the conditions, you cannot change the inputs, you cannot change the query, nothing. We do plan on shipping some updates to this, so making it more customizable. But before we do that, we just wanted to add this. Somebody asked for this, we needed it for the project, so we added it. So, but again, this is private API. If it will bite you in the butt at some point, it's on you, it's not on us, okay? But I'm just gonna let you in on the secret. So now you can go on a field and say filterable. I'm gonna talk about suggestion. And you can add, you make it a hash, you don't make it a true boolean, you make it a hash and you pass in the query hash key, and then you pass in a block. And what this will do is give you access to a query, which is almost an active record. I'm going to talk about that, but you have to return an active record query back to us. So this is an example of how you would use it with the tags field on acts as taggable on. So the query is actually not an active record query. Maybe we should have highlighted this better. So see, this is why this is private API, because it's not thoroughly thought out. Like everywhere else in Avo query is an active record query. Now it is not. This is actually a ransack query, which if you add something like query.result, it would make it an active record query, right? A regular active record Rails ORM query. And then this tagged with method is something that acts as taggable, adds to that model, right, to that record. So now what we do here is basically enable, where is it? Do we have a tags field here? I don't think we have it. Yeah, I don't think we have it. So what this enables, maybe, no, we don't have it. I don't think I have it. So what this enables is to use the tags field with an actual tags input. And the tags input is this one. So here, edit. So it will give you this actual input, right? Which is a tags input. And then it will work. Actually, this was supported before, but now it will work with acts as taggable on, right? So then the suggestions, this is just an option for this input. So you can pass in some suggestions similar to how you pass it to the field. And this was something that I built. So I just have the query, and then Paul came in and just made it so you can not pass in the query, and if it's an acts as taggable on, it will just know, so you don't have to pass this. But again, if you want to take over the query, so if you want to go into projects and say, okay, let me open a filter and country, and then you just say Albania, whatever. In this, in this block right here, let me just paste it in the code somewhere. Let's say here, right here, you can do something like, okay, query is going to be a ransack query, and then you can say something like, okay, custom external API get country, and then you will pass the filter param. I think the filter param is actually the, what is it, it's actually what is passed in as the value, and then you get, I know, options from it, whatever. This is something that you would do, like, I don't know, maybe new that get country, whatever. This is something you would call from outside, and these options you might want to pass them here somehow with options. This is a bad example, whatever. And this would be like a record query that you would pass in with the custom scope or whatever. I don't know. You just take over the active record and you do your own query with it. So it's really, really powerful, really, really badly done. We apologize about this, but again, freaking private API. We're gonna change it at some point. We just want to make it better, understandable, but you have it. So see, if you watch these videos and everything I do, you definitely find out a lot more than just reading the release notes. Okay, moving on. Allows for exclusion in all resources. Yes, thank you so much, man. You're done. Thank you so much for this. So basically what this does is enables you to add the accept, and just accept, maybe. Yeah, it's just accept. Okay. Yeah, so you can say, okay, give me all the resources inside the menu, all the resources except these ones. So again, I'm going to go into the initializer and say something like all resources except, I don't know, user resource, whatever. I can just say, I think, user, or maybe, what's the API here? A symbol, yeah, except like user, and then, I don't know, team or something, and it will give me everything except the team and the user. So this is cool. Okay, next. Render partials and view components. Yes, this is important. What does this do? Okay, cool. So this is a cool one. This is a cool one. This PR enables developers to render partials in the menu. Again, we go to the menu and we say here, render some partial nested, whatever, some partial. Or you can say some cool component that new, and you can pass in a few things, right? Or you can pass in like just Avo sidebar link component, and you can do your own thing. Like, you get the point. It's basically, you know, doing the render method from the view, and you can do things. I think you can even do, not I think, but I'm sure you can do locals, and you can pass in other stuff here. So it's not that just resource and dashboard, our helpers. So this is a cool one. Mark highlight search. Did we speak about? Yes, we did speak about this. Yes, it will mark the search in the search results. Okay. Oh, refactor all tools and renders. Okay. What is this? Fixes this one. Oh yeah. So this is a bug fix. We spoke a little bit about this in the beginning when you added all tools somewhere. So all tools somewhere in the menu builder. This would not render the proper. This is broken. This would not render the proper name of that tool in the sidebar. It would render a bad name. It would not take. It would not use this precise name that you give it to one tool, not a resource tool, but one tool. So that is a fix actually. And we spoke about this. Phew, we're done. We're done on all the changes. Okay, the news. What's new with us? So, ever since we started this project, we figured out that people might need a little bit more guidance. Like we have these amazing docs, which you can go and browse them yourself, or you can search them, and you will find mostly what you need. So for technical support, you will be able to just use this page to get like a sense of what's happening there. So Avo is designed to be a self-serve product, like for the community tier and for the pro and advanced. This is self-serve, so we don't offer officially we don't offer support. That's because like for 350 or 500 per year, we cannot spend that much time on each customer. Technical support usually is very expensive. If you ever paid for support, technical support for a tool, you definitely know that this is not something that you would pay just in $500 per year or something. So again, it's a designed to be a self-serve product. So you'll find the documentation, you can browse the code and see the comments there. So it's basically self-serve. But we figured out that for some people, like the docs aren't enough. Some people don't even check the docs. They first jump on our Discord channel and they ask questions, and that's cool. That's okay. I can understand that. But as much as we love giving out support, as much as we love helping people out, we can't spend that much time on just doing that. So whenever we spend too much time on support, we neglect our day-to-day projects. We neglect our other things that we have to do to keep Avo going, right? To ship more things, more impressive things. So we added this new tech support page. So this offers two types of support. Okay, so this is priority chat support. So this will give you access. So whenever you purchase this, we will invite you to a special Discord chat page where only you can answer questions, and we will give you very very prompt response times. If you ever got support from us, you know that sometimes it happens within 5 minutes, usually within an hour or two when we are in working hours, or maybe the next day, or maybe maximum like 2 days if I'm off, Paul is off, and nobody is around the computer. But we usually respond very well. So you have an FAQ here, so we will give you priority response time. We'll validate your use cases if you give us some kind of code, which is like simple code, not something like, okay, you need to create 5 classes and whatever. This is not that kind of support. We'll answer like, how could I do that in Avo questions. Of course, you might have very advanced usage questions, and we will answer that. Given you have like a more medium-sized scenario, we will try to debug those scenarios from reproduction repos or from your messages. But again, reproduction repos, when we talk code that we can run, we can definitely debug it much more easily, and it's really simple to start a Avo reproduction repo. I'll probably create a video for that. And then we won't look into your code base for this kind of support here, and we won't take calls or meetings. Like this is not that kind of support. This will cost $75 per month per developer, and you'll get access to that chat channel, and you can search. You can write to us, and we'll do these things. We'll maybe do these things, and we won't do these things. And then, of course, some more information here. Next is advanced hands-on support. So this is when you have a company, and Avo is definitely a very intricate part, a very important part of your company. Maybe it's like the front-facing, consumer-facing application, right? And you do need like super hands-on support. Like you're using maybe custom stimulus controllers, a lot of like tools, resource tools. You have advanced, I don't know, associations, whatever. So this is a little bit more advanced. You'll get expert on demand support. So you'll get support from us. So maybe from me, from Paul, or from Gabriel. And this could be, let me just jump to the FAQ. Whatever. So you'll get like 3 hours of support for consultancy. code or video calls from one of the core team members, might be me, Paul, or Gabriel. We can be your sparring partner if you need to, pair program on things, or you can even give us some things to do, right? So it's a 3 hour per month. Extra hours are available, and besides these 3 hours, you'll get one group call with me. So I will hold one phone call per month ish, for about an hour, where I go through whatever we're working on a little bit more. It's kind of like this, what I'm doing here, but a little bit more interactive and more in depth. Maybe we'll do some code sharing as well. And then you can talk about like your problems, your issues, give us your feedback, and see where we can together move the framework forward. Again, FAQ, we can do some Avo related development, so it's not Rails things. If it's something that we do in Rails to support Avo, your Avo app, sure, but it's not going to be like, okay, build me this other thing that doesn't have anything with Avo. We might build some Avo features to accommodate your use case. We might do that. We might make adjustments to Avo to accommodate your use case. Again, if you need, I don't know, you're doing some advanced has many querying and whatever, and you don't have the right, what do you call them, the right escape hatches, or the right, points where you can update something. Okay, you tell us, and if it makes sense, if it's something that everybody would need, or if it's something that we can, let you override it, we'll definitely bring it into Avo. So it's definitely a closer, relation and a closer connection to us. So again, what we won't do, we won't do non-Avo development, and this does not represent carte blanche on Avo development. This doesn't mean that you can pay us this money and then you say, okay, you go do that. We need this feature. You're going to do that. It's not that kind of service. This costs $500 per month. It's a 3-month minimum commitment. You don't have to pay it all at once. It's monthly. On a subscription basis, and it covers like 3 hours, as I said, and one group call with Adrian. More information here, go check it out, and definitely let us know if you need more support. This doesn't mean that community support is going to be over, but it's definitely going to be more limited. We need to focus on Avo, we need to focus on what we are going to move forward, and we'll probably just limit that support. I don't know how we will do that. Maybe answer within 2 days, more than 2 days. Maybe we'll do just community support Thursday, and we only answer on Thursday. We'll figure it out. We definitely don't want to push everybody out. It's not something that it's just some kind of a way of sustaining ourselves, of bringing new people on the team to be able to provide that support, because otherwise we'll only do support all day. You probably saw the Discord chat that messages just pile up. I just want to announce that we have our third team member, Gabriel. He's a junior developer. He's the second junior developer that joins the team. Paul was the first one. Now you know that he's not a junior anymore. So we love helping people get into Rails and into Ruby. So you'll probably see him a little bit more on the channels, doing some support requests as well. But we want to ease him in. What else are we doing? What are we building? So I am working on the Turbo 8 upgrade. This is something that I've been working on for like 5 days since Turbo 8 came out. We had a few edge cases and we need to refactor a few things, but this is definitely something that is going to come out really soon. And what else? We are working on the audit logs feature. It's coming along nicely. Paul did an amazing job. It will give us so much context into what happens within Avo. It will give you context on that. Who does what, who did what action, and what updated what. It'll give you some rollback or undo functionality. And I'm happy to announce it will work with Paper Trail and the audited gem. I mean, one or the other. You definitely don't want to use both. But it's not a feature that it's just going to add paper trail on Avo and that's it. But it's definitely more. It'll give you more context into who did what. It's going to be available on the enterprise plan. So, get in touch with us for that. That's about it for today. I think we'll keep this release cycle every 4 weeks or 4-ish weeks, maybe the second Tuesday of every month. We definitely show more things than we used to do it with the 2-week release cycle, but it definitely helps us with, spending half a day to just record this and cut it and post it everywhere. Yeah, looking forward for your feedback, your ideas, and everything on our Discord server, on GitHub chat. Thank you so much for being an awesome community member. See ya.